Well, recently I got scammed. I think for the first time in my life. I'm normally pretty careful, but I fell for it and I got scammed. I'll tell you the story. We were moving house and I was looking for some furniture and checking Facebook Marketplace. And I was after a double bed with a mattress that was in pretty good order. And I saw this advertisement for a double bed with a mattress, and they said the mattress was brand new and hadn't been slept on. It was a really good price, and they offered a free delivery in the local area. So I thought this is exactly what I want. So I made contact with them, and they immediately told me that there had been quite a bit of interest in the bed, and they could not hold it. And I said, look, I can get over there in 2 days' time, and I'm asking you to hold it, but in good faith, I'll offer to pay half of the price of the bed up front. And they instantly agreed, and they did suggest that I should pay the whole of the amount, which should have been a warning sign, but it wasn't to me. But no, I said, look, I'll pay you. I'm happy to pay you half if you deliver it in 2 days' time. And of course, I made the payment, and the moment I made the payment, the whole ad disappeared, the conversation disappeared, and I was blocked, and I'd done my money. In this case, it was $100, and I did check with my bank, but they said, look, really, you've authorised a payment to a private individual. There's not a lot we can do. So it was a lesson, $100 lesson, if you like. I know people have been scammed for much greater amounts than that, but that was the scam that I fell for. But look, I bring it up here today on this channel because I'm aware that there's been many people in the carnivore community that have been scammed with advertisements for fresh farm sold meat. And this is a growing trend, and it's becoming a growing problem. So I thought I'd talk a little bit today about how these scams work and how you might identify them and protect yourself against being scammed in issues in advertisements like this. You see, it begins like I did. You go on Facebook and you're scrolling down Facebook, or perhaps you're looking in Marketplace, but with meat it's probably just going to be in your regular feed. An advertisement comes up for some fresh farm-produced meat being sold by the family, and the advertisement is usually purporting to be a family-owned farm that are selling their fresh meat direct to the consumer from their farm. And the advertisement will have really nice pictures of their farm and these boxes of meat that they are advertising. And they usually produce some sort of sense of urgency by saying there's only so many boxes left until our next, until our next lot of stock is slaughtered and ready for sale. So get in now while stocks last, and they will offer you free delivery. So that's how it looks. You see, these scams always look good. They never look stupid. You see, I've got here a Australian $20 note, and it looks good because it is good. It's a genuine Australian $20 note. But supposing I come to you with this note here and told you that this is an Australian $20 note, nobody is going to be fooled by that deception, because it obviously looks like a fake and you pick it immediately. But the thing with scams is that they always look good. They look legitimate. You see, if it doesn't look good, you're not going to fall for it. So just because an advertisement looks good and it appears legit is no validation at all that it's a genuine advertisement. So let me tell you how these scammers work when they're selling their so-called fresh meat on Facebook. What they do is they will set up a fake Facebook profile, and it's easy to do. You can set up a Facebook profile with no ID needed at all and call yourself who you like, and you've got it set up in a matter of minutes. That's the first thing they do. They make sure that this site looks good, as I was just saying. They'll put some nice pictures of a farm and some nice pictures of boxes of meat. It'll look very pleasing to the eye, and it draws your attention when you look at the ad and you think, that looks good. And it does, it looks good. Along with the look of it, they will also be posting a very tempting offer. They'll say something like, this is the last of our current season of meat, and we've only got, several boxes of meat left, and we want to make them available to you for today only at this price of such and such. So they present an offer that attracts you, that gets you in, that hooks you. It's not ridiculously cheap, but it's cheaper than you know that the price should be, and it draws your attention in. And then to top it off, they offer free delivery. The next thing they do is to ask you to pay up front. Now, even legitimate companies selling meat will often ask you to do that. So that in itself is not a warning bell. But you see, how do they want to be paid? Oftentimes, scammers will use Pay ID because their own identity cannot be traced back. And so that might be the suggestion that they offer you. Can you please pay using Pay ID? You can just do it on your phone. They'll explain to you how to do it. They don't want you to use PayPal because with PayPal, you've got some, buyer's safety built in. Even with some credit cards, there's some safety mechanisms built in, depending on what your bank offers with your credit card. But you see, they want a payment system that is undetectable and that makes them easy to just disappear the moment they've got your money. And of course, the very minute you pay, within a matter of seconds, they leave the chat group. They leave the conversation, the ad disappears, and you cannot trace them again because they've disappeared. They've got your money and they're gone that quickly. So how do we protect ourselves from being scammed? Now, these scammers are getting better and more clever all the time. So we've really got to be vigilant and alert. But the first thing I would check when I'm looking at an advertisement like that is at the advertisement itself. Now, I've already told you that they usually look good, but there are telltale signs you might pick up. First of all, check how old the profile is. Often scammers are continuously creating new profiles. So if the profile is only a matter of days old, then that in itself is a warning bell. Sometimes these people don't even take the time to put a profile picture in. And if there's no profile picture, it should trigger some caution. But you see, the good guys will get around this, and they'll be able to work out an older profile, and they'll have a profile picture in of a very, typical farmer in their profile picture, maybe smiling and holding a piece of meat or something like that. This is what they do. But have a look at the site itself. Is there anything on the advertisement that triggers some concern? Have a good look. The second thing you can do, and this is really important, is to do some checking to see whether this company, this product is genuine. You see, in Australia, they have to be registered, and to sell any sort of product like that commercially, even as a small business, you need an Australian business number, an ABN. And that ABN should be on their site. If it's not, that's a concern. And in the conversation with them, I would be asking them for their ABN. And then you can go to a site. I'm talking about Australia here, but I'm sure these similar things operate overseas. You can go and check that ABN number to see whether it's legitimate, and it comes back to a business with that name. So do some checking. Also, if they call themselves a business name, if they're, Farmer Brown Meat Supply, well, Google them and see if they've got a website, see if they've got other sales, see if there's anything else about them on the internet. But you want to satisfy yourself that they are a legitimate supplier. While you're looking at their website, I'll be reading any reviews that they have. Scammers would never put a negative review about a product, or even a 4-star out of 5. They will always be fantastic, too good to be true reviews, that every single review is a 5-star review and cleverly written, or, maybe even written by AI. You never know these days. but have a look at the reviews. Do they ring true? A fourth thing you can do is to look at any sense of urgency. Scammers will almost always do whatever they can to create a sense of urgency. You've got to act right now. You've got to do it right now before you've got time to think about it, before you've got time to do any checking. Just do it impulsively and do it now. That's the urgency they want so that they can disappear just as quickly. Fifth and finally, I would say to you, if you do see a suspicious looking advertisement, or you've been scammed and you've been caught out, you need to report it. In Australia, we have scamwatch.gov.au, where you can report these scams to the authorities, and also alert, if you're in the carnivore community, alert your carnivore friends to this same scam. Just doing that could avoid even just one person being scammed. Look, if you've been scammed, or if you've got friends who have been scammed, or they talk about buying meat online, perhaps forward them a copy of this video that might help them just to think a little bit before they hand over their hard-earned money to a scammer and lose it permanently. And that's always a horrible feeling. I know that firsthand. What you want to do ultimately is to make sure that you're buying your meat, if you're buying it online, that it is a legitimate company. Now, I would at this point, for people in Australia, mention a company that I've dealt with quite extensively and have been huge supporters of my channel, and that is Stockman Steaks here in Australia. Stockman Steaks are the real deal. They are very genuine. They snap freeze their meat and they ship it all over Australia, and it is high quality meat. It is reasonably priced, or at least competitively priced, but you're getting high quality meat. Their service is very reliable, and I highly recommend them. I'll put a link to their company in the description. They are an affiliate partner of mine, so I declare that up front. And look, recently I interviewed Stephen from Stockman Steaks, the manager of Stockman Steaks, and we had a great conversation about all things meat in Australia. And if you missed it, I'll leave a link to it up here. But look, thanks for watching today. Stay away from the scammers, be alert, keep telling your story, and I will see you on the next video, and God bless.